Hi, I'm Dan Jessen. I'm going to talk to you today about Walmart inventory shrinkage, a case study from the book as you can see there. First of all, what is shrinkage? Oxford Languages defines shrinkage as an allowance made for reduction in the earnings of a business due to wastage or theft. In this specific case, we're going to talk about Walmart in 2016. It seemed like everybody was stealing money or contributing to Walmart's shrinkage problem, including its customers, its employees, yes, and even its vendors. It was more than a little problem for Walmart. They had a big problem. 48.9 billion reasons to get it under control. From 2015 to 2016, shoplifting had gone up per occurrence by more than $400, and employee theft had gone up around $700 per occurrence. This takes us to our specific case in Atomic City, Idaho, where the high rate of shrinkage was totaling about $2 million a year in losses. This resulted in low profit margins. And frankly, there was a danger of closing the store, putting 40 plus employees' jobs at risk. So what was Walmart to do? Who could they turn to? No, not the Lone Ranger. He was retired. The protagonist of our story is Shane, the freshly transferred in store manager from another Walmart store. So what did Shane do? Well, first of all, he did what any good manager would do. He tightened systems and controls. In fact, he went to his bosses and said, I need to hire an asset protection manager. I'm sure he did some other cool management things as well. Well, so what happened? First of all, there were massive reduction in losses. Almost instantaneously, the losses fell to 10% of their previous levels. That didn't seem quite right, because in addition to that, at the same time, several high-level managers suddenly retired. The regional asset protection manager was fired. In fact, management came to Shane and said that they had discovered some improper accounting at his store that had been discovered and corrected, and he was put on administrative leave with pay until the investigation was done. Shane didn't feel quite right about this, and he kind of wondered if his head was the next to go. So he reached out to another store manager who confided in him that the same thing had happened in her store a year before in the same area. Shane didn't think things sat right. So the question is what could Shane do? In the case study, we have to ask the following questions. First of all, what could Sarbanes-Oxley have helped? The Sarbanes-Oxley puts the responsibility for internal accounting controls on corporate executives. This makes it harder for executives to pin fraud on stereotypical middle management fall guy. Additionally, whistleblower provisions in the Act increase the likelihood and incentives for lower-level employees to bring issues to light, instead of allowing them to continue in fear of losing their jobs while being blamed for the problem. In this situation, if Walmart had a policy of mandating that physical inventory counts must accompany and be attached to any book adjustments of inventory when certain monetary thresholds are met, these types of fraudulent entries would be much harder to pull off. In this case, it appears like some really shady things are happening, and Shane should definitely consult an attorney and consider blowing the whistle. He has to consider the impact to all the stake shareholders and like the 40 plus employees that could lose their jobs if the problem isn't fixed. Additionally, his management, peers, bosses, and Walmart shareholders could all be affected by this scandal. Shane needs to convince the other store manager to bring her story to light. Talk to his boss about his concerns, and explain to his employees and his family that he is going to fix the problem and root out corruption, regardless of the fallout. He might hear that innocent people could be negatively affected, and frankly, that is a valid concern. On the other hand, by not doing anything, the problem will only get worse, not better. Eventually, the fallout could be far worse. And let's not forget, Shane shouldn't be a scapegoat. He is the one trying to fix the problem. In this case, if this was me, I would definitely consider blowing the whistle. Unless my boss and upper management agree to a fair and transparent investigation by an independent auditor and agree in writing not to penalize me for bringing the problem to light. Thanks for watching. I'm Dan Jessen.